Tonight on Hip on the Spot News. The dynamic campaign is slated to be released this year. We got more details on what we can expect. New missile behavior and effects are on the way. And ED are also working on a secret helicopter. This and more on How I Play. This video is sponsored by Fox3 Managed Solutions. Hello virtual pilots, I'm Andre Celesti, and tonight we are going to talk about the latest news in DCS world. And this week we are blessed with a lot of news in and around the major effort in bringing DCS to its full potential in 2025 and beyond. From details in missile behavior and map development to highly anticipated features like the dynamic campaign that is slated to arrive this year. Yeah, I know, it may sound like wishful thinking, but we hear it straight from ED that they are busy to deliver, be that the first iteration of the dynamic campaign, somewhere by the end of this year. Now, this first implementation is prepped for the single-player environment at first. Some of you didn't believe me when I did my last video, thinking I was mistaken. Nope, not this time, as we know that in the first implementation of this new and important element in DCS, we will enjoy it in the single-player environment. But even so, I am excited to learn that 2025 may end with that feature in DCS. If it is to be this year or early Q1 of 2026, as we do know how things go around here, it's a very good feeling knowing it's about time we get it in our hands. But what do you think? This was shared in the latest Q&A video by Wags, and we will do our best to dissect the video for the most important info that was shared with us. So stay tuned, subscribe, and give us a like if you enjoy what you see. Oh, and by the way, have you heard? Beyond the known modules that are in development in the Eagle Dynamics studio, it seems that they are working on a new helicopter. And to put me down from the get-go, they say it's not a Black Hawk. Oh well. But I say it's most likely another attack chopper, since the last rotor for DCS was the Chinook. But we will need to wait and hear about it later in the future. Meanwhile, ED shared with us some details on their new weapons features that will improve the gameplay in DCS. ED have been working over the past several months with a strong focus on both air-to-air and surface-to-air missiles. And they talk about the appearance of missile contrails at low temperatures. You see, modern missiles use reduced smoke solid fuel rocket motors as well as liquid fuel motors. And as we expect, these cease to be low smoke at altitude due to the drop in air temperature. Take for example winter time in Kola map, Caucasus or the South Atlantic map. You mean hot weather, no smoky. Cold weather, smoky smoky. Yeah, something like that. Also, they mentioned that in winter a contrail can appear even at low altitude, making them more visible and provide a more clear picture from where the danger comes. Nice! And from weather effects to missile behavior, they also work with the trajectory fluctuations of older generation surface-to-air missiles. They added authentic guidance algorithms for the older Soviet SA-2s and SA-3 SAM sites. For example, they implemented two guided modes for the Soviet missiles. By default, the improved proportional navigation mode is used, but if the target uses a jammer or has a velocity of less than 100 meters per second, pure pursuit is used. We can also expect a more realistic SAM missile proximity blast pattern for fuses. The proximity blast pattern is now a more realistic wagon wheel shape rather than a sphere. This increases the SAM lethality. And so, this new mechanism allows ED to set unique shapes and sizes of pattern based on fuse and warhead types. Now let's hope they get to work on the ground explosions and air-to-ground behavior as well. I know some of you will comment already about that splash damage requirements we all know about. So next update, we have to keep an eye for those Soviet SAM systems. Good to know. In the last newsletter, ED also shared more information on their development with the free Mariana Islands World War II version. They shared some screens that showcased the difference between the islands from modern time to 1944. Moving on, apart from the previously mentioned info that we got from the latest Q&A with Wax, we got some new info with the dynamic campaign. All in all, their focus with AI is on the air tasking order, with the strategic AI and tactical AI working diligently to create the tasks that will shape the battlefield, be that manual or automatic. This is where we must understand that in the dynamic campaign, the battlefield will be reactive, and forces will react like a real-time strategy game fighting on the battlefield. The taskings for, let's say, CAS missions will happen automatically if left that way, or it will be able to be set manually, like let's say when the user chooses a certain side where the strategic AI should focus on. So it will be up to you if you want to micromanage all the aspects of the campaign or be directed with the tasks by the AI.
Ooh, I wonder what the name of the AI will be.
But does the AI need a name?
Of course it needs. I would call her Cortana.
Yeah, Petrovich, very creative. And then we heard about performance. For air, the AI will be able to decide if a certain mission is doable, set on their capabilities, threat level, and possible losses. Also, what type of weaponry they must employ, and if the package that will be created requires an escort or not. For ground, the big work is focused on the automatic level of tasking to understand the phases of combat. Also, location and pathfinding and knowing how to spread on the map based on the battlefield is very important. When it comes to performance, we heard about the depiction of units on the battlefield when the player is present and when away from the battle. This is very important and reminds me of Star Citizen talks when the AI is met by a human player and how things change when you don't have visual contact, but a certain action needs to be generated and simulated based on the algorithm, with no visible units being shown. This will save a lot of performance and allowing vast amount of units to actually simulate their interactions. We also do this on our HIP dynamic server in a certain way, by switching off the AI behavior of certain units on the map when a player is not present. We learned that the dynamic campaign will incorporate industry, logistics, and the effects of taking out such operations during the campaign. They are getting close to define the UI for the campaign builder, and I cannot wait to see it showcased in a future video. Then Wax talked about the F-35A. Nothing new here. It's the reason they choose the module with all the available data. Best thing I say, we will get to know how will this F-35A behave once we have it in DCS. A surprise mention was combined arms, and if we can wait to see any improvements being made to it. Well, it seems that the existence of this module was more of control of units and JTAC, and now they mention a possible combined arms too, where things go a bit further than what we have today. But nothing new for now, apart from the visible new modules for current units. As for the helicopter talk, as I said before, they are working on a new one, and it's not the Black Hawk. But if and when they will do a Black Hawk for us, current data is available for the Lima version, but they hope that by the time they start to work, they will have more info on the mic.
Come on, Edie. You guys have friends in high places, right?
And after the already known situation with the Red 4 modules and the lack of reference data in the world for them, as it seems a manual is not enough, we got to hear about the track file system. For what was previously used as a debug tool rather than a replay system, they will make a new one, but it will be a new system from the ground up. We can't expect it this year, but it's something they want to do. And yes, Edie, we do need a rewind. It's very important we get to control the flow of the action. In other news, the devs at Veco Simulations are ready to release another dev update for their upcoming Talon today, just after the show. So I will see you there in just a few moments, checking in and seeing all their latest developments with this quality mod. And remember, this will be available for everyone for free. As a short notice, they will be talking about their testing with the real T-38 pilots in the last few months. I'm actually curious to hear about their impressions. And that's it for today. Thank you all for watching. But before you go, I got a special thanks to Rick Bish and his kind gesture right after our last video. He donated the Mirage F1 by Aegis for the channel. So when we get new things to this outstanding module, we can showcase it for our viewers. Thank you so much, it will be put to good use, and also thank you Hammy for the heads up last week. I am sometimes hard to find, especially when I'm in recovery. My voice is almost back to normal, but I am grateful for all the support. Thank you all for watching. Many thanks to our Patreons for their continuous support. Remember to check our sponsors with their promo codes and special links for extra discounts. And as always, I am Andre Celesti, reminding you to fly safe, and I'll see you next time.